What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about some massive Black Ops 6 reveals that could certainly blow your mind. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and it's been a pretty busy last week and a half for the team over at dkdynamite.com. They've been keeping you guys up to date with all things Call of Duty, whether it's Season 5 for MW3, and of course, all things Black Ops 6. But as I've been reminding you about in several recent videos, you could of course use code DYNAMITE to save 10% off any order over at Control Freak, including for this Deadshot Daiquiri Collector's Can. In the can itself, and yes, it's a life-size Burt can, you do get the limited edition Control Freak thumbsticks. I'm aware that as of right now, they're sold out for PlayStation. This kind of just happened a few days ago, but they are still available for Xbox. I'm sure they'll come back in stock in the next couple of weeks, of course. They've been very popular, but yeah, the thumbsticks look absolutely amazing, and you also get a code for a free in-game weapon charm, which is also a Deadshot can that can sit on any weapon of your choice. Now, there's quite a few reveals I want to actually break down here in this video. First off, let's talk about the mysterious zombies marketing that has been pretty controversial inside of the zombies community. You guys are obviously aware about that Reddit post that I want to say was a hoax at this point, that was teasing some type of new Easter egg on the Cold War terminal, which has not been proven at all, has not been replicated in-game by anybody. That led to an ARG, which is like a puzzle similar to Pawn Takes Pawn or The Truth Lies, as we saw a couple of months ago for Black Ops 6, and that really hasn't gone anywhere, but Activision themselves did come out and tell media outlets like Charlie Intel and Modern Warzone that actually wasn't affiliated with Call of Duty. Then some other type of cryptic marketing started with various content creators like Mr. Roth Waffles, Noah J, Codename Pizza. I then reached out to Activision for a comment on that, in which I was also told that it is not affiliated with Black Ops 6 Zombies at all whatsoever. I'm guessing there will be zombies marketing over the next couple of weeks before COD Next, especially considering content creators like myself will be playing the mode from Washington, D.C. But whatever it is the content creators are teasing apparently is not connected to Call of Duty whatsoever. Now, I'm aware, and I'm wearing the jumpsuit that says The Truth Lies, I'm aware the tagline for the game kind of sets the standard that even if Activision says, nope, that's not affiliated, there still is a reason to believe that it could be because they're trying to be cryptic. But I don't think Activision would flat out just deny that something is connected to COD if it really was. I just don't see them really doing that, even though, yes, the tagline of Black Ops 6 would certainly support an action like that. Hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from, but if you don't want to believe that and you think it's all connected, then feel free to. I'm just going off of what I was told directly by Activision themselves. Now, speaking of COD Next, I'm honored to have been invited to the 3rd annual Call of Duty broadcast event, which this year is going to be in DC. It's perfect for the theme of Black Ops 6. The narrative makes total sense to have all of us creators go there instead of LA, which is where the first 2 COD Next events were. I'm sure you guys have seen this big book already, but it's a massive book all around democracy. One of the coolest mailers they've honestly ever done. Inside, as you guys have probably seen though, we have a big wall hang, which is the Cerberus logo, big old cutout that was 3D printed, and then we have a page that you can actually spray with water, and then once you do that, it'll actually reveal the message, The Truth Lies, and the location of this broadcast, which is going to be over in DC. It's going to be an absolute blast. Cannot wait to get my hands on again with Black Ops 6 multiplayer and my first hands-on experience with Black Ops 6 Zombies. Hope to see you guys in my live stream once the day does come at the end of August, and I'll of course have plenty of other videos going live at the same time here on the channel. You'll see some shorts, you'll see extended coverage from Detonated, I'll be posting tweets, various articles. Couldn't be more ecstatic about Treyarch's first ever COD Next type of experience. Now, I had to spray the book again for the sake of this recording, but as you can see, the truth indeed lies. That's going to be a crazy tagline that I think is certainly going to impact both the campaign and even zombies modes within Black Ops 6. Here's where I'm going with this. So as you guys probably saw in the Black Ops 6 Direct event, we're going to be going back to Vorkuta. Now, this is a locale that we haven't really been back to in well over a decade. That was a very important location in Black Ops 1. It helped establish the MK Ultra CIA experiments with those sleeper agents. It was a very big integral part of the BO1 campaign, but we really haven't ever been back there. And I think it's great to know that we're also going to revisit that area within matches of multiplayer. It looks like there's a map that takes place around that big space that we're going to see in campaign, but at the very least there's going to be what I believe is a strike map, a small 2v2 or 4v4-ish experience that takes place in the Vorkuta tunnels. So that has me really damn excited. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that Raven is going to do this location wonders when it comes to reminiscing on such an iconic location within the Black Ops universe. I honestly believe there's so much material and potential when it comes to this locale, so much storytelling that can still be unraveled from this location that Black Ops 1 didn't have the time to do, nor did any of the other Black Ops sequels that came out after it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I would love to see Vorkuta turn into a gulag-like space for a future Warzone map or something. That would be pretty interesting, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves, right? We don't know anything about the Black Ops 6 Warzone integration just yet. Hopefully we'll learn more at COD Next, but I want to direct you guys to this specific piece of paper that was sent to me in a Black Ops 6 related care package package a couple of months ago. These are clearly blueprints of the upcoming safe house that we're going to be seeing inside of the Black Ops 6 campaign. You can visit the safe house after every single mission, similar to Cold War, but on a much bigger scale with more secrets to uncover in the safe house, and I think more character dialogue and interaction, possibly other puzzles you can solve, which could set up some pretty cool achievements within the Black Ops 6 single player. But what's funny is that the year these blueprints were drawn up is the same year that the core Vorkuta events do take place in Black Ops 1. So could there be a connection between Vorkuta and this safe house? It's certainly a possibility, which could set up a reveal that will likely blow all of our minds. I think in the safe house itself, whether it's on a terminal, whether it's through character dialogue, somewhere in the safe house, we could learn more about what really happened with the MK Ultra experiments in Vorkuta, and even more about an iconic character like Viktor Reznov. I find it funny that to this day, we still really don't know if Reznov was there in Afghanistan to rescue Woods and Mason, right? These were obviously some past missions of the Black Ops 2 campaign. Black Ops 6 takes place after those past missions of BO2, just to make all of that clear. But was Reznov really there? Was he real? I mean, was he even alive? Keep in mind, during every single Black Ops 1 campaign mission, at the very beginning of each experience and each level, there was a sequence of numbers that could be decoded to the following message: Reznov is dead, or is he dead? There was no body. Is he who he says he is? And you guys know the rules with comic books and just about any type of video game out there. If you didn't see a body, he probably isn't dead. And that could be the case here with Viktor Reznov. So considering Black Ops 6 takes place 30 years after the events of BO1, that would put Reznov in what, his 80s or 90s? He'd be pretty damn old by the time Black Ops 6 takes place. So I'm not saying that he'll be alive and speaking or active within the Black Ops 6 campaign, but we can at least get some answers as to what really happened with this character back during the events of BO1 and the past missions of BO2. You guys might think that it's better to just leave that as a mystery just because we don't want to really ruin the charm of the original Black Ops game. Could totally see where you're coming from with that, but hey, I would love to hear some new Gary Oldman Reznov quotes in BO6. I'm sure you guys would as well. Like the iconic moment when he's like, "For you, Mason, not for me." I would love to hear that again in Black Ops 6, but with some new voice lines and some new twists from Gary Oldman. Who knows if we'll end up getting that, but if there's any game that has potential to do that, it would be the upcoming Black Ops 6. Now, I know what some of you guys are probably thinking. What about John Trent? Yes, I'm fully well aware of what I still believe is kind of like an unsolved Easter egg from the Black Ops 1 terminal. This is something very mysterious that never really got followed up on in any other Black Ops game. So crossing my fingers that this could be followed up on a little bit within Black Ops 6. For those that don't know what this is about, let me drop 3 layers of interpretation for you when it comes to this mystery. So a bunch of secret emails were discovered in the Black Ops 1 terminal that came from an individual named John Trent. So here's the first layer of interpretation. So your average player probably thinks Reznov just died in Vorkuta. That's the obvious assumption that you take from a quick campaign playthrough within Black Ops 1. You would just take everything for face value and not really look any deeper into what really could have happened with the MK Ultra experiments, the CIA connections, and the whereabouts of Viktor Reznov. But a second layer of interpretation could be this. People who get a bit more involved with kind of diving into the Black Ops lore may read the terminal and may notice the phonetic alphabet at the beginning of each mission, which does say the message that I went over earlier, asking if Reznov is dead, right? There's no body. Is he who he says he is? So those players may begin assuming the twist is that Reznov really is or was alive beyond Vorkuta, and him being a hallucination was wrong, at least in some of the times that you see him. Maybe he was there in some instances where Mason saw him while playing. Maybe it was just a full hallucination altogether, but Reznov was still alive elsewhere. That's another layer there. But a third layer of interpretation could be this. Reznov is completely dead and John Trent is actually Mason. This, I believe, does have some strong evidence behind it, which I do think Black Ops 6 has the opportunity to fully unravel, considering he is dead. And that's confirmed canon by Treyarch, by the way, and it was confirmed just recently again in the official COD pod that was over on the Call of Duty YouTube channel. Considering that, there's a lot of potential in the safe house or in various missions, especially that Vorkuta one, that could at least confirm or deny that Mason was John Trent this entire time. So Mason has many episodes, which are implied to be kind of like what happens in the Rebirth mission, where he's essentially in third person watching himself as Reznov, or simply just blacking out and believing that he is Reznov for a short period of time. The memories afterwards move more towards his subconsciousness, right? But as you guys probably saw with those really odd-looking John Trent emails, he sends several messages to CIA operatives, just mainly Jason Hudson, but there's some other ones that get sent out, and the most frightening one is the day before the JFK assassination in 1963. He sends an email to JFK titled, "You have 1 day left," with a text saying, "Victory cannot be achieved without sacrifice." This is a line from Reznov to Mason in Vorkuta, and would be something that the brainwashed half of Mason would be aware of, as the ending of Black Ops 1 heavily implies that Mason is the real JFK shooter. We saw that little post-credit scene, right? So this would place the John Trent JFK emails as a cry for help from Mason's subconscious, which does not want to go through with the orders the numbers are giving him, which is to assassinate JFK. So he emails both JFK and Hudson, hoping that he would be stopped. 3 days after the JFK assassination, he sends Hudson a picture of Evelyn Cross, the woman who gets zoomed in on during the Pentagon mission, who is implied to be the double agent running the number station, and also implied to be Mason's handler for Dragovich. John Trent also implies that these are true. So keep in mind, there's a lot of moles throughout the Black Ops universe, and Black Ops 6 has a very heavy emphasis on moles, once again leaving the door open for an opportunity to explore some of the moles of the past and how they could be setting up some of the current events with the Pantheons and the undercover mole that has just framed Russell Adler in the Black Ops 6 story. Now, Evelyn says to JFK in an email, "Give him what he asked for or your life will be in danger." JFK met with her in Berlin, so I think a lot of us are inclined to wonder if the Reznov persona was always acting instead of Dragovich's code, and maybe he leveraged both Evelyn as a Russian agent and Mason's CIA connections to try and get info on Dragovich, Kravchenko, and even Steiner. She does sound pretty scared in a lot of her emails, but Trent attaches an echelon code to the email to Hudson, which translates to Oswald Compromise. This is obviously alluding to Lee Harvey Oswald not being the shooter that day. So during the mission revelations, when Mason is seeing/hearing all the wildest versions of the numbers hallucinations, he does scream Oswald Compromise, meaning that was a code he heard and translated to enact orders. So these codes are auto-translated in Mason's head, and the same thing sent in his email was beamed into Mason's head from the number station. But obviously, though, all these people and events in the emails are related to Mason and only tangentially related to Reznov's targets, it makes much more sense that a blacked out/mind-controlled Mason is sending the John Trent emails rather than it being Reznov who's on the run and in hiding. The reason the signs and the writing style seem to suggest that it's Reznov is because Mason, when under the mind control, truly believes that he is Victor Reznov. Now, ultimately, Treyarch did leave this open for interpretation, which I think is still brilliant writing. Even if there isn't a right or wrong answer to the community's understanding as of right now, there's multiple layers of understanding which people out there could choose to side with. Now, you probably will feel as though you've figured it out through different layers of understanding, only for out-of-place details to cause you to look a little bit further and to find a new revelation, which I think has already happened over the years in the Black Ops community and will happen even more with the launch of the Black Ops 6 campaign. So hopefully you found this video helpful, just to kind of give a bit of a recap as to what one of the biggest Black Ops mysteries is. I think that mystery certainly has a lot of potential to be unraveled even more within Black Ops 6, whether it's from the Vorkuta campaign mission, whether it's from the safe house, whether it's from various Easter eggs sprinkled across different parts of the game. Couldn't be more excited to dive into this. I'm crossing my fingers for campaign early access just so that I could dive deep into the campaign exact week before the multiplayer and the zombies come out. But either way, I'm going to cover all of this day one when the game does officially release. Very, very enthusiastic about what Raven could have up their sleeve when it comes to different Black Ops Easter eggs. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. Hopefully you guys are as excited as I am for the single player campaign in Black Ops 6. I think there's a lot of room for Treyarch to follow up on a big mystery that has just kind of been left a question mark for the better half of a decade. But with that being said, I really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.